Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Joyami, I am playing whatever I want, and what I want to do is continue exploring this tempo resurgence in Legacy. Tempo resurgence might not be the correct term. There is a diversity of tempo decks in Legacy right now that I don't know that we've ever seen before. I talked about this on my last video on Friday, Temur scam. We did a whole episode of Eternal Glory podcast. Check that out, by the way. It's available where podcasts are, or it's on YouTube. Basically, we noticed that there are 6 different tempo decks, all viable in Legacy right now in the top tier and a half-ish range, and only one of them plays Delver of Secrets, which I think is extremely interesting and not a thing that happens often. And this deck today, Temur Cascade RHI-NOs, is the most unique of them all, because not only does it not have Delver, it also doesn't have Daze or Wasteland. Daze and Wasteland are in all the other 5 tempo decks that we identified at the top of the metagame, but this one, no Daze, no Wasteland, no Delver of Secrets, no cantrips of any kind. And the reason is, this deck works because there are no cards that cost 1 or 2 in it. If you play a Violent Outburst or a Shardless Agent, the only thing you can cascade into is Crashing Footfalls, which means that for 3 mana, you get 2 4/4 trample creatures, and maybe a 2/2, or maybe they have Flash, depending on which enabler you have. This is backed up with Force of Will and Force of Negation, and it's sped up by Elvish and Simian Spirit Guides, both in the full boat. This is a deck that's really trying to go all in, resolve one important spell in the game, and then just counter you, you're dead in 2 hits. But a cool angle of this deck is that Lorien Revealed is a late-game Ancestral Recall reload level thing that was recently added to the format that does not affect your Cascades. In fact, it ups your blue count for your 7 main deck forces, and it can hit your land drop if you just need to get the first Cascade going. And if the game grinds on, it just draws 3 cards. Not that Lorien Revealed needs an introduction at this point. It is defining all formats it's legal right now. It's just there in large numbers anywhere you can play it. But in this deck specifically, where you're not allowed to play normal card draw because of your Cascade engine, it is really the perfect tool. And the sideboard for this deck is just a bunch more pitch spells and then some busted 3 mana things, because the deck's built to spend 3 mana early. Ideally on a Cascade thing, but if you're against lands, I don't know, turn 1 Blood Moon, good luck. Against any sort of blue deck, turn 1 Hull Breacher, have fun. Energy Flux, any artifact deck, you're dead. And then the most fun sideboard card, Inevitable Betrayal. This is Bribery. The suspend version of Bribery. You search your opponent's deck for a creature and put it into play under your control. It's a powerful turn 1 against Reanimator. Powerful spell against Sneak and Show. You get it. If they have some big dumb thing and you need to go faster than them, then you can just switch your Crashing Footfalls into these and kill them with their own things. Super cool deck, a top 3 deck in Modern for the last 1.5 to 2 years. This shell is well explored, but it is kind of new to Legacy, and people have really been putting in the work lately and tuning it up. Lorien Revealed, like I said, big upgrade. And I'd like to try it. Let's do it. This is Temur RHI-NOs from Joyami. I'm on the draw in round 1. I have a Cascade spell, 2 lands out of the 3 that I'd like. Ice can cantrip. And I also have Force blue card. And I even have the Violent Outburst, not the Shardless Agent. So if I get something going before they do, Force Negation can protect my Cascade spell. I'm going to keep drawing a Spirit Guide, gets me going on turn 2 here. Lorien Revealed guarantees land number 3. Mishra's Bauble, Misty Rainforest, bobbling themselves on this Multi 6. Want to build their own scry with the Misty. And they did not like the card, shuffled it away, then passed the turn. Lorien Revealed, hello. Okay. That is guaranteed land number 3. I think I want to fetch a forest here. Really hope I don't get stifled. That would be so annoying. All right. I'm going to get basic forest and cycle Lorien Revealed for basic island. Getting wastelanded off my 3 lands is not where I'm trying to be right now. Oh, I could go now. If I play Wooded Foothills, fetch for Mountain. Yep, this is better. Okay, pass the turn. Now it's kind of regrettable that I cycled the Lorien Revealed, but you never know. End step, they are seeking a beast. Yeah, go ahead, seek that thing. They exiled Lightning Bolt and Dragon's Rage Channeler. They can cast both those cards, but those cards do not answer my Rhinos. Wasteland, played around it. Here's the Channeler. And there's a good chance they just bolt me here to get their spell before it's gone. Yep, there it is. I'm going to let them surveil and everything before they know what's going on, really. Delver in the graveyard. This does give them Delirium. End of turn, I'm going for a double protected Violent Outburst. Basic Mountain Outburst. Off we go. I am in Daze range here, which I don't like. Crashing Footfalls on the stack. If you play against the stack, make sure you counter the Cascade spell, not the thing that triggers it. Cascade is a cast trigger. It's not part of the effect of Violent Outburst. I hope if they interact, it's with Force of Will, because if they have Daze, they'll start with that. Cool. Force pitching Force. I think I force some negation here, pitching Fire Ice. Because Brazen Borrower, I believe, does more for this game. And I need to make sure that my spell resolves. I'd love to force pitching Force, and then just have the 2 actual spells in my hand, but safety first here. And I know I have this island. Attack with my creatures. DRC has to fight. I'm just going to cast Simian Spirit Guide here, actually. It's another body on the board. And my job right now is to reduce their life total to 0. I have Force backup. They showed me they don't have Daze. And then Brazen Borrower can clear a blocker if that's what I need to do. If I draw exactly Minsc and Boo next turn, then okay, whatever. I blew it on the Spirit Guide, but that's 2 cards on my deck versus 44 cards, in which I'd rather cast the Spirit Guide. This also puts lethal on board. If for Xaxes, this is damage number 9 and 10. The Rechanneler. And Ponder for a bunch of Surveils. This is basically Vampiric Tutor. You're going to see so many cards. Or it's Demonic Tutor, ends up in their hand, even better. They're down to 1 card in hand, plus whatever this Ponder gives them. They've not played a land drop and have not shown me a green source to get this Questing Druid down. They did not shuffle, and they have the green. This gets them the 2nd creature if they want it, or 3rd creature. 2nd blocker. But if I bounce DRC with Borrower, then they go to 1 and have to chump block Simian Spirit Guide with their Questing Druid. 1 card in hand, can't be forced blue card. If it's Daze, that grows the Questing Druid and gives them some selection. Oh, now I have Force backup. Get out of here. Petty Theft the DRC. And present attack that puts you to 1 and leaves you with 1/3/3 in play. And I still have Force of Will up, and I can pay for Daze now. And DRC has to attack, so unless they can deal 9 to me somehow, this blocker is off. If they Murk-type pre-combat, they actually have 2 blockers. But they're at 1, and my creatures trample. Yeah, that just doesn't even matter. Cool. Cast 1 important spell that game. That's what we signed up for. I actually think Minsc and Boo sucks in this matchup. It's just something that dies to Lightning Bolt in a matchup where nothing needs to die to Lightning Bolt. Endurance is a meaningful piece of interaction versus Dragon's Rage Channeler and Murktide Regent. And it's a nice pivot. If they pile up on Flusterstorms and stuff, here's this thing instead. Blood Moon would probably hit them pretty hard, but not hard enough to be worth my slot. If I go all in protecting my spells with my counter magic, I want it to be a can of Rhinos, not a Blood Moon. Hull Breacher dies to everything. Force of Negation's only good if I'm going off on their turn, but I am kind of planning to do that. Maybe one of the Force Negations is supposed to become Endurance here. Now I just have 4 of those, and yeah, I would just not have Force of Negation in my deck. If I didn't have Violent Outburst in my deck here, it's not a good card on its face in this matchup. Okay, I'm going to go like this. All my Endurances and Minsc and Boo and 1 of the Force of Negs out. Okay, I can suspend Footfalls on 1 and then Violent Outburst on 2. Suspending Crashing Footfalls is never exciting, but I mean, it is like TikTok, homie. If you are not ready for it, or if you waste your energy fighting over the first can of Rhinos, this one will come down on turn 5. It's also a green card for Endurance if I care, which I doubt I do. Bobble, DRC. And this Endurance looks pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna, like, pitch cast it. Just 2 for 0 myself, but the stats are nice. They bobbled me. All right, what am I drawing? Is it good? They draw for Bobble. I draw Tropical Island. Okay, so this gets the mountain. This gets the island. Or they both get the forest. The mountain casts Violent Outburst with the Spirit Guide's help. Tropical Island fills in the gaps, but is wasteable. I'm just deciding which basic forest, what I'm going to fetch basic forest with for this Footfalls right now. What red cards are actually in the deck? Because my blue cards, Borrower, Ice, Lorien Revealed, Otawara. Red cards are just Violent Outburst after board when I don't have Minsk and Buin, and Fire. I think the first red is really important, but I would rather have Forest, or I would rather have Island than Mountain, but the first Mountain's really important. I'm going to use the Misty, because I also have Lorien Revealed as more hits for Island later. And I can't just play Trop on the turn I'm ready to go. There's a Footfalls in exile for me. Cracking their fetch. Delverino. Re-Delverino. Okay, so Delver will trigger on their turn, and I'll get to see what they're about to draw, and I can decide if I'm going to shove Endurance into play or not. I think I'm going to take my time on the Outburst. Oh, sick. Now I still don't have the basic island I wanted, but that is, I can challenge a Daze this turn with Endurance and then see how I feel about it next turn with the Violent Outburst. They revealed Spell Pierce. Okay. I can shoot a Violent Outburst now, or I can just play around the Spell Pierce for the rest of my life. Because Endurance can stabilize. They could also Brainstorm in response and just get the Spell Pierce now. That's really annoying. Okay, I'm going to let them draw that, and I'm going to go for Endurance here, and just hope they don't have Daze. Okay, fetch my Mountain, and then Spirit Guide. Cast Endurance the hard way. Hope their hand is full of Spell Pierces and Flusterstorms. They're doing something here. The blue in the pool. Ugh. Well, there's that jerk. They had the Daze. I cannot pay. Wish I had another Spirit Guide for the blowout there, but now we're just dead even if the Rhinos do resolve somehow. The triple creature backed by 1 counterspell, they just out-tempoed me. If they had slowed down into too many counterspells and like 1 creature, that gives me time to figure this out, but this is the line that I lose to. Oh, they're doing something still in combat with their floating blue. I hate that. Oh, Seeking the Beast right now. They can cast Brainstorm and Force of Will until the end of the turn. They do have their land drop. They pick that up with Daze. They can cast the Brainstorm, but they chose to leave up Spell Pierce instead. Second Endurance is good here. All right, this. I just lose to the Spell Pierce here. Yep. Three power flyers, all of them immediately active and just the smoothest piece of interaction possible to stop me. I wonder if I'm supposed to have Fury in here. Like, do I just become the control deck and go 0 Force of Negation? That seems like it might be bad, but if I have all this other stuff going on, then maybe I don't care if my Rhinos necessarily resolve. And if I just buy enough time, I'll win. Okay, I'll try it like that. Okay, I can turn 1 Endurance here if I want to. I can't imagine that's good, but I am going to keep this hand. It needs a Cascade spell, but I play a lot of those. Opponent went to 5. My goodness. All right, I hope that this strat to kind of play fair works, or I draw something unfair right away and bait up their 5-card hand. Ponder, okay. I'd love to just draw a Shardless Agent right now. That's how I want this to go. I can pay for Daze and Force of Force. They did not shuffle their library, and then they played Mishra's Bauble. Okay. Shardless Agent. Lorien Revealed. That's land number 3. Yeah, I can chill for a while. Popping their Bauble now. Looking at my top card. Which won't be my top card once we get there, because I'm cycling Lorien. I think I have to just lean into Wasteland here. Because I have a green spell and a blue spell, and I'd like to be able to cast my red spell if I draw it. I'm probably just going to do like Trop Volk Taiga here. There is a Taiga, yeah, one of each. Just get all my doubles set up. I'm going to start with Taiga, because that's the one that Lorien can't get. Cycle for Volcanic Island. Then I can fetch Trop. Scalding Tarn. Alright. I'm going to play the card that they know about. Looks like the Beast is going to get sought. That's fine. Exiled Wasteland Brainstorm. Sure. It's annoying that both those cards are good and usable here. I think it's time to just play Endurance. If they waste me, I'll just float the green and make Endurance happen. Float a green. Okay, fetch for Trop. Cast Endurance. I can pay for days. I can force if I need to do that. Guess I can decide if I even care about a force. Is that even a good deal for them? We're in there. Big chonkin creature. Murktide delayed. They've already used their land drop for the turn. We'll B-Storm after the fact. Decks are playing Dismember these days because you need to kill X5s in Troll of Khazad-dûm. Just hope they don't have that, but I think I would not force it if they did. Delver, okay. Bauble, okay. Bauble, okay. They found their way through the Brainstorm cards. They're not Brainstorm locked, but they do have to see all those cards again. Alright, show me Shardless Agent. Brazen Borrower, okay. Now they know about that one. They attack you for 3. Begin the tempo game. They're bobbling me again. This bauble will give them 2 looks with Delver, because they can stack their triggers. Or that only works if you bauble yourself. Yeah, they don't actually know what's going on top of their own deck. Okay, they're drawing first, and then triggering Delver. Oh, the draw clears the Brainstorm card, so they did know their top card before that. No flip on Delver. Good news. They know I'm holding a clean answer to Murktide Regent. Another Wasteland. They still don't have access to green for their Beast, or their Druid, whatever this thing is. Beast Druid? Beast Druid Dryad? Gonna get Tropical Island. I'm still resolved to just lean into Wasteland. That's 2 gone. Oh, right, I Endurance them after the Wasteland. So they're actually still 3 in the deck. But I'm trying to get up under it here. They're deciding if they need to counter this card. Yeah, Exile Spirit Guide, pay for days. Time Walk. Yes, I'd like to pay for that. Thanks for asking. You got another one? Because I do. Okay, I can't block this. I wouldn't if I could. Come on, Shardless Agent. Oh yeah. This is even good for extra damage in combat right now. I'm doing it. Pew pew. They're tapped out of Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm right now. I do have Force backup, and I will commit to it if they fight. Force pitching Brainstorm. Force pitching Brazen Borrower. All in. F6. Rhino's Resolve. Violent Outburst resolves. Take 8. You're at 7, and I have a lot of trample and flying here. F6. Delver didn't flip. And Murktide is a card that doesn't flip Delver, and it would be 6/6 on this board. I still have them dead around that, and they agree. Cool. Took turns just getting up under each other. Tempo Mirror, on to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw in round 2. Tough beat that there's no red source here. I think I still keep this hand though. Ice is a cantrip that is also disruptive. Brazen Borrower is a 2-mana spell that's disruptive. I have 1 mana interaction. I will keep. I just hope that a red source shows up before it's too late. An island from the opponent. I think I'll do the same. Crashing Footfalls. Ooh, well. Alright, well, the jig is up. I'm gonna get this on layaway. See you in 4 turns. Would have been nice to bluff like some blue mirror for a little bit and then surprise, here's a bunch of rhinos, but it's not to be, and I'm not gonna skip the play that actually advances the game for this bluff potential. My goodness, opponents kept a 1-lander on basic island What does that mean? That means I want to Force of Will ASAP, I think is what that means. Oh, this is tricky. Oh, I can use Spirit Guide to cycle or reveal. This is not tricky. I was about to say I want to tap their island because I suspect they're a combo deck, but I also want to cycle or reveal to get red. But I can do both. Ice your island. Another Lorien revealed. Street Wraith. Okay, they're Doomsday. Uh-oh. Personal Tutor. Okay. They're going to put the Doomsday on top. Confirmed. And I'm gonna... I don't actually need to cycle now. If I just draw the land, I'm good. And Spirit Guide, I can just pitch to do that next turn too. I could even cycle for the land, then use Spirit Guide to play the Violent Outburst. Yeah. Force of Will, exactly what I wanted. Cycle, get that Volcanic Island, play it. If they Doomsday, they go to 9, which is not lethal for me. Lion's Eye Diamond, okay. Cabal Ritual, okay. Doomsday. Actually, do I say okay to this? No, I think I force this. Because if I force this, and they force back, then they go to 8 off Doomsday resolving, and they need to win the game pile, which the LED might facilitate, but like, yeah, let's go. Hope this is a pass the turn pile, and they just use their interaction, because I just put them to dead on board. They're force pitched a Daze. That might be really lucky for me. They put Street Wraith back into the Doomsday pile. They might just work through this pile right now if they have a cycler to kick it off. Oh, if they go to 9 off the Doomsday, then we fight over Violent Outburst. Then they're at 8 anyway, and I would still have force to fight a possible all-in LED line. Yeah, I think I messed that up. But they could also just let Violent Outburst and Crashing Footfalls resolve, go to 1, and then kill me. There's plenty of piles that do that. So I think, yeah, I just need them to make a pass pile here and hope for the best. Let's get a look at this build. Looks pretty standard. I don't see Misdirections. I don't see Veil of Summers. That's some of the weird stuff this deck can do. Edge of Autumn's in exile. Both Edge of Autumns are in exile. And we know there's a Street Wraith, but I only see one Wraith. Cavern from hand. Shit. Okay. We're dead here. If they play the Oracle without a fully empty deck, like if they just play it right now, which is not happening. Yep, they have exactly enough that... Oh, they didn't make this uncounterable. What the fuck? I mean, good thing I don't have one anyway, but geez. Okay, so if they make that same line, I win a Force of Will still in my hand. Yeah, that's one of those ones where I forced and then I stopped fighting, so they knew that they could make this line versus... Oh my god! Wait, what am I doing? They had one card in their deck. I had 2 answers. Oh my fucking god. Brian, what are you doing? In my head, I was like, oh yeah, they still have 2. Okay, so everything I just said, fucking forget about it, because I'm a dingus. I had 2 answers to this in my hand. Unreal. Okay. That was embarrassing. Yeah, for some reason, once they got under 2 cards in their deck, I was like, okay, they got it. But 1 is still less than, or more than 0. Fuck. Yeah, don't ask questions. I don't know. Okay, Hull Breacher and Endurance are coming in. Dismember comes out, even though it would have just won me that game. What the fuck? Minsk and Boo are coming out. They're a little heavy for this matchup. Can't believe I just did that. I'm gonna try not to tilt off about that, but that was really bad. Just fundamental brain fart about how the card Thassa's Oracle works. Fucking A. Hey, let's figure out this sideboard. Fire Ice, pretty mid, actually. I still get to keep 2 of them, but the removal's out. If they pivot onto like a Sheoldred, I have Brazen Borrowers and Forces for it. I hope my opponent doesn't watch this video. Okay, keep. I have Force of Will and a route to Threats and Disruption. I'm gonna keep. I don't think I cycle Lorien yet. I might just draw land number 3, and then I'd rather have more blue cards in my hand. Okay, cool. Now I know what I'm doing. Not to justify punts, but if I dismembered on that last turn, then I can't play my Rhinos. And if they made the last 2 cards in their pile 2 copies of Thassa's Oracle, I still lose. But I did not even give them the chance to make that mistake. Dark Ritual, looks like it's go time here. Doomsday. Force pitching one of these Brazen Borrowers. Flusterstorm for exactly, or no, there is the Dark Ritual, right. Yeah, even if I had the Spirit Guide, we're not in business here. Okay, Doomsday resolves. I'm going to need Endurance or my can of Rhinos to win this game. If they make a slow pile, Violent Outburst presents lethal almost next turn. Violent Outburst puts them to 1 next turn. And if they go fast, Endurance might blow them out. Here's their exiled stuff. Oh, Straight Wraith cycling right away. Kind of hope they do stuff an LED line right now. Okay. Edge of Autumn. Sacrifice. Okay, that's a draw. Thassa's Oracle with no cards in your hand and 2 cards in your deck. Okay. Endurance pitching Violent Outburst. They will now have 10 cards in their library when this Oracle trigger resolves, which is more than they wanted. Hope there's not a second Oracle in that pile. They did keep a card on top. They can work back through the pile. The pile also contains Doomsday if they want to flip things around. I'm going to get a Trop and cycle Lorien for Volk and hope that Brazen Borrower just races what's left in their deck, because they are 5. Spirit Guide, okay. Spirit Guide's actually perfect, because that means I'm not going to get my Borrower dazed. Okay, they just held back Oracle so it didn't get ambushed by another Endurance. I'm going to get another Trop and just play the Borrower. Put them on a 1-turn clock here. They are drawing random over there. Their known cards have been worked through. And I don't think I do anything with either of these cards. Just pass. Because Elvish Spirit Guide can't attack through Thassa's Oracle anyway. And the game will not last 5 more turns. Okay. 2 pieces of Disruption got over the hump that time. If Endurance wasn't on their radar, it is now. And I don't think my deck improves here. Force, blue card, Endurance, green card, and 3 mana to play the game on. I'm in. Opponent also kept 7. Lotus Petal. Ponder. It's an aggressive use of Lotus Petal. That's really interesting. Underground Sea. And did not shuffle the Ponder. Another Endurance and another green card. The double Spirit Guide rules really hard because I can pay for a Daze with Simian Spirit Guide. Like, I can play Ottawara next turn, and then Elvish Spirit Guide out in Endurance if I need to, pay for Daze with Simian Spirit Guide, force blue card. Got a lot going on here. They did not shuffle that Ponder. Ooh, the Cavern as your second land. They're never really happy to do that, but I'm not going to punish it in this matchup, unfortunately. I'm pretty glad that Cavern is on Wizard and not Phyrexian right now. Okay. This spot's kind of awkward. I could hardcast Force of Negation and pay for Daze. I think I actually want to do that. Fetch Tropical Island. And then Force of Negation, exiling Simian Spirit Guide. Because now, even if they force back on this Thoughtseize, I'll have Endurance green card at the end of the day. Okay, come on, land or Cascade spell. Shit. Okay, I'll probably just put an Endurance into play to start attacking this turn. Though I can't play the second one. Yuck. Okay, I might just cast Brazen Borrower here to start attacking. I feel like I can't give them that much more time. And Brazen Borrower is the 3-power creature that does not interact with their combo meaningfully. Unless I draw another force, it's my only blue card. Little bit of a squeeze here. Opponent missed their land drop last turn, which we knew they didn't have another one, or they wouldn't have played Cavern of Souls. Alright, Doomsday resolves. The fact that I missed my land drop and was willing to use a counterspell on their Thoughtseize should tell them that I have interaction here. They go to 10 off the Doomsday, Brazen Borrower attacks them to 7. Then I'm holding up Hardcast Endurance next turn. If I draw a green card, I have 2 Endurances. But if they build a pile that beats Endurance, none of that matters. And I didn't fight over Doomsday, so they're pretty sure I don't have a counterspell. Their Lion's Eye Diamond's gone, so they're not going all in on anything. I see 1, 2 Force of Wills. Or 3 Force of Wills. I'm going to take one more look because people always laugh at me because I'm like, I see 2 Force of Wills and there's just 4 of them there. I just didn't see it. I see 3 Force of Wills right now. How many Street Wraiths do I see? 1. Just 1. Street Wraith does get boarded out pretty often, but this opponent has been pretty aggro about their life total and cycling Wraiths with it. I'm going to deploy Brazen Borrower here and get some pressure on. That's in. It's not a lot of pressure. Green card. Oh, that's just as good. That lets me hardcast one of the Endurance and then pitchcast the other, and I can pay for days on one of them. Okay, I need them to not have built a pile that beats 2 Endurances. Edge of Autumn, that's 3 cards in the graveyard, and they can't daze right now. Wizard mana's in the pool, but they have 3 cards in their graveyard, or in their deck. Okay, there they go. All right. Opponent has to have 2 hard counters here, which 3 Force of Wills are in exile. I'm going to fetch Taiga, and I'm actually going to pitch cast the first Endurance, because if they have Force of Will, I'd rather them counter that one. Cast by exiling a green card from my hand. Elvish Spirit Guide's gone. There's the Force. I'm going to let that go back into the deck, then hardcast the other one. We're in there. Bang. And by sequencing the pitchcast one first, even though it's worse, we already read that they could answer it. Now we have 6 power in play instead of 3. Okay, Oracle gets a look. They said in the chat they could have set up double force, but they did not. Cycle to Street Wraith, hit their land drop, Brainstorm. They're back to 6 cards in their deck. Violent Outburst is lethal here. Okay, they have to block, but the Oracle might be better off in their graveyard anyway. They're at 1, and I'm not bluffing anything. I'm just going to put another lethal threat into play and send it. Okay, they would have to get through a 5-card deck with 1 card in their hand. Cavern. All right, 4 cards still in their deck. They could play a second Oracle here. Oh, 3 cards left. Did they do it? Oh, that was fun. They were very close. GG's. Unpunished by just yeeting game 1 into the sun. Let's go. On to the next one. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. I'm on the play in round 3. I'm going to keep my hand. It's all in, but I think I like it. And I think I go with Shardless Agent just on turn 1. This puts them on Force of Will or 10 power versus letting them untap and unlock Daze, Fluster, Spell Pierce, second whatever. Okay. They had the Force of Will pitching Brazen Bar. Oh no, it's the mirror. Well, at least I have a 2-2 in this version. Sometimes you just go for it. Polluted Delta. I don't think that card's in my deck. Endurance, not really what I want. If they're Scam, I might be able to get them. I really just want to hit my next 2 land drops, and then we're playing. Okay, we are some at least Izzet deck. Maybe Grixis. Maybe Rug. Now we have Force of Will. Right on time. And I could have waited for more protection, but I kept a 1-lander. It's just not getting better. Put them on the old Epic Storm 40%. The chance of having a Force of Will in a 4-of deck with 60 cards is 40%. So it took my weighted coin flip to have it, and I was unsuccessful. They could Bowmaster to just stabilize here. All right, that didn't happen. I've got 2 forces. I don't know. Let's ride, I guess. They keep hitting land drops. I don't like that. Can I hit a land drop? Heyo, we're in there. Okay, my next land casts either Endurance or Violent Outburst. All right, JK. I'm not allowed to have any lands. Blow to green. Okay, the Wasteland deck comes to punish. Well, that is, once again, 1/3 of Violent Outburst. Now a green source gets a double protected can of Rhinos on the stack. My opponent's down to 9. This Shardless Agent just going coast to coast here. Coast to coast no longer. I imagine they'll have some follow-up spell. They haven't revealed a 3rd color yet. All right, deck. Green mana, preferably from a land. That's what I want. Okay, they just played land number 5. I think I want to attack into this. If they get Delirium in response, it's whatever. But if they don't, I can't just like not take the damage that my deck is currently able to produce. And I have to go to discard. I think I just throw the Endurance here. That is not a blue card for force, and it's not a mana source, and it's not a can of rhinos. And every other card in my hand is one of those things or more. Seeking the Beast. I'm going to ignore this. I'm going to ignore everything. Just green source gets me in the game. Lightning Bolt, Brainstorm. They have stabilized against Shardless Agent at long last. And third color revealed. They're not Grixis. They are Rug. Or Temur, if you prefer. They milled away a Murktide. Yeah, it's 6 life now. With me as 7 cards in hand, they probably know they're close to something threatening. Dang, that Wasteland, though. That was good. Oh, we're 4 color. Even more exciting. Lightning Bolt. The opponent's at 5. And they kept that card. Channeler is still sleeping. Come on, green source of mana. Right now. Red source of mana. I mean, that can fire the Channeler or tap something for another turn or a redraw. I can't really count on fire killing Questing Druid and Dragon's Rage Channeler because one spell gets the Druid too big and might get them Delirium. Hey, here's this deck. I think I'm going to let that resolve. They can attack me for 1 here. I think the cantrip of ice is more important than killing one of these creatures. I'm going to ice the black. It's just the unique color that they have. They could daze, and then this is countered. Not only because I can't pay for daze, but also like they could just remove the target. Bowmaster, ew. Luckily, that's not the important thing here. They do get a bonus trigger, but I'm trying to find a green source. We did it. Okay. They only have 5 cards in their hand. How bad could this be? Misty Rainforest, pass. I can pay for daze. I'm playing on basics now. They have this big ugly army. Their attacks are worth 3, 4, 5, 6 right now. That puts me to 9. If I try to interact in combat, any fight, anything they do would grow the Questing Beast for sure, and maybe grow the Dragon's Rage Channeler. And they're just dead on the crackback here. So this is the fight of our lives. Basic Forest, Violent Outburst in the end step. Somebody's dead here. I have 2 forces and I can pay for daze, and they have 5 cards in their hand. Footfalls are on the stack. Daze. I'll pay. Let them surveil first. Pitch Spirit Guide to pay. Daze is handled. 4 more mystery cards in their hand. It's a hard cast force. 6 mana in the pool. Yeah, that's 1 more than you need. 1 floating from Daze already. We're going to let their triggers happen first. Force of Negation, pitching Lorien Revealed. 3 mystery cards left. Wow! Oof. Shardless Agent just teeing off for like 5 turns there. Got them low enough, and we made it through. Wild stuff. Okay, I've played against some Delvro before. I believe this is what I did, and I cut all of the Force Negations and Minskin Boos. And the Force Negation was clutch on that fight, but now my plan is a little more well-rounded. Blood Moon and Brotherhood's End are pretty interesting. Maybe if there's a game 3 and I'm on the play, I'll try to moon them. They are a 3-color deck, unlikely to have more than 1 basic if they have any at all. I don't really want to get so reactive as to play Brotherhood's End. That card kind of sucks, and it's only good when I'm losing. Yeah, I'm going to do this for now, and then if there's a game 3, I'll reconsider Blood Moon. Okay, basic forest, a route to basic, island, force backup. I have the red here. Yeah, I'm going to keep. I get to put a can of rhinos on layaway. Opponent went to 6. And ponder. Good start. Did not shuffle. Going to get the basic forest and suspend Crashing Footfalls. Suspend is a special action from the hand. It's not a spell, so you can't daze that. Tick, tick, tick. Down to 3. Island Cycle, Lorien Revealed. I found an outburst. Now I have a presentation of rhinos. Next turn. Get the basic island and deploy it. A protected presentation of rhinos. And I can play my land to get ahead of daze. What's going on here? Oh, we're seeking some beasts in the end step. Exiled Mishra's Bauble and DRC. Yeah, that's basically the nuts. Among the best cards the best 2 cards you can hit off Seek the Beast. Okay, Druid first. Clever. If you're just tapping out anyway, then that works. That also turns off any kind of soft permission for the turn. I am going to main phase my Violent Outburst. They can only Force of Will me here, or Force of Negation. It would be sick if I just draw a land that I could get the Secret Daze Blowout again. Original can's down to 2. Oh no, only 1 can of Rhinos left in my deck. Sucks to draw 2 of these, but whatever. This is where we are. Play Otawara, and then Violent Outburst, right? Meow. 5 cards in their hand. 2 of them have to be forces, and then 2 more have to be blue cards. There's a force pitching Hydroblast. Oh, maybe I was supposed to lead on Fury. Oh no, I need the Fire Ice for Force of Will. Never mind. Fury mopping up that board would have been sweet, though. Their first force was countered. Can of Rhinos in, though they will soon be smaller than Questing Druid. But the race is on. Second can's invested. A red spell kills Dragon's Rage Channeler with Fury. Brazen Borrower's tough. Any kind of sweeper is tough. They're seeking the beast again. Daze Brainstorm. Brainstorm will get Questing Druid bigger than my Rhinos. I'm just going to F6 here. Now that they're showing Daze, not that I was bluffing much anyway, like Mystical Dispute, I guess. They could also just erase me. Just attack with their 5/5 or 6/6, but I would double block it. But then I would lose everything to a bolt. Okay, now they're not going to bolt me. Yeah, if Questing Druid attacks, I'm going to double block it. But they probably just leave it back and farm me with their flyers. It's a little too late getting up under it. This looks a lot like the last Delver matchup, where I won game 1. Game 2, they had 3 giant creatures in play. Okay. Double block all day, every day. Yeah, that creature was just going to beat me if it never attacked. Now if I draw a red card, I could kill one of these DRCs. If I draw Endurance, all these things are small. I get a second round of Rhinos next turn. Fire Ice. Okay, I can Ice. Oh no, that's the red card for Fury. I'm going to attack, see if they block. And it's not a great block. It just absorbs 3 damage. All right, yeah, I'm going to pitch this to Fury and kill one of these DRCs and try to get back ahead in the race. Okay, that's gone. And do I suspend this Footfalls or hold it for a possible Endurance? All right, all in. Second can of Rhinos coming out in 4 turns. The original can will show up in my next upkeep. They've had a while to sculpt interaction, but haven't done anything in a minute. Yeah, Brainstorm Questing Druid. They could leave back and... Or no, they can't, because Dragon's Rage Channeler. I was about to say they could leave back and steal my double block technology, but they actually can't do that. Found a Wasteland. I was just going to comment that they've been leaving my Wasteland, or they've been using their Wasteland for mana and leaving my mana largely uncontested. But they found another one. Okay. Rhino time. Are they ready for this one? Here it comes. Show me Rhinos. We're in there. That's a lot of power. Brazen Borrower. Tilt. I'm not going to play this out because I have a bunch of 3 mana cards in my deck, and that Wasteland just picking it off sucks. Okay, this Questing Druid, too small currently to party. Murktide Regent completely stabilizes them. I would have to find a Brazen Borrower, and I think I've pitched 2 of them already. Or was that last game? Okay, 1's already gone. Dragon's Rage Channeler has to fight. It's his first day. And I have lethal, but I assume they have something to follow up here. Oh, nothing at all. Interesting. I'll play my land and just send the squad. We've seen Brazen Borrower in their deck. That card's super annoying. I don't know if they're going to have Unholy Heat, but this is currently a lethal attack. If they double bolt a Rhino, then Questing Druid trades with another one. Or they're going face. Ooh, double bolt actually keeps them alive at 1 life, and I'm dead on board. That would be cool. Daze. Okay, they're dazing their own bolt to grow the Druid. Yeah, if Druid survives this combat, I'm also dead on the backswing. That bolt to the face. Solid. Oh, they got more mana to tap. Or no, they were paying for their days. Understood. Yeah, you do need to do that. They got another Surveil here. They bend to Force of Will. Lightning Bolt resolves. Moment of Truth. Okay, if they have a Lightning Bolt, I lose. But here we are. This has been an exciting game, no matter how this ends. Bobble. Okay, Bobble gets the Surveil look, and then the redraw to still find Lightning Bolt this game. They targeted me with Bobble. Land, 1 card left in hand. Oh, baby. Here we go. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Make sure you attack before you bolt me in case my hand is Endurance. And here's the Bobble draw. Did they get there? No, they didn't. Wow. That turn 1 suspended, honest to goodness, 2 Rhinos 5 turns from now. Got there in the very end. Exciting stuff. We remain undefeated. Keep it rolling. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw in round 4. I have a turn 2 Cascade spell, and then if I find a mana source, a turn 3 Cascade spell, I'm in. Ancient Tomb, please Chalice on 1, please Chalice on 1, please Chalice on 1. Patchwork Automaton, okay. This is probably 8 cast, not a Moonstompy deck of some kind. Oh, sick. Wood of Foothills gets basic Forest, Lurin Reveal gets basic Island. That's land number 3, and I don't care about Blood Moon at all. Mox Opal. Okay. Blood Moon not on the menu. This is an 8 cast deck of some kind. Emery. Don't like that card. Very strong. The scary thing out of 8 cast is once they know what deck I'm on, they can Chalice on 0, and it really jacks me up. This double Brazen Borrower in the hand is sweet, though. I'm just going to go Trop Volk now that I'm quite certain they're not going to punish my mana in any way. Here's the Volk, and I will pass the turn. They are a deck with Force of Will, but I can present 2 cans here, and if I can ambush this Automaton in combat, that's awesome. They just played out Otawara, which is one of their answers to a 4/4 Rhino. Automaton from the graveyard will trigger the one that's already in play. Also turns on Opal. Here, Spellbomb. Annoying. That's a clean answer to Rhinos for quite some time. 2 cards left in their hand, though. Has to be forced blue card not to lose a Automaton here. Pew pew, here they come. Sometimes they have Metallic Rebuke, so it might not be a 2-for-1, but here's my Rhino. Question mark. Oh no, they're doing something. It says they're paying costs. Fucking A. Alright, Metallic Rebuke confirmed. Alright, you get to keep your card. And now the Aether Spellbomb's a lot better, because I can't untap Bounce Emery and make them figure it out. Force of Will, you asshole. Taiga, Shardless Agent. More Rhinos. Crushing Footfalls. They actually don't have an answer this time. I think my play here is they bounce one of my Rhinos, they recast Aether Spellbomb, I force Aether Spellbomb, then I bounce Emery over the next several turns and try to tempo them out under their own Ancient Tomb. Yeah, end step Spellbomb. That'll do. Bobble, bummer. Yeah, if they just get their Automatons both up to 5/5, then I can never win. Really needed them not to have that counterspell last turn. I think I'm going to barely lose on this trajectory, and I would have barely won on the other trajectory. They tapped Ancient Tomb. Uh-oh. Kappa Cannoneer. Okay, no, they just have multiple creatures that are bigger than my Rhinos. To the sideboards we go. Time for this Energy Flux, and these Hull Breachers, and this Brotherhood's End, and these Force of Vigors, and these Furies. That's a lot of stuff. Do I even have this much stuff to board out? Endurance, not required for this matchup. Force of Negation is annoying, but like they do have things worth forcing, but also all these cards are better. The Spirit Guides are all important because any of these 3-drops could be important to ramp into. Is it Minsk and Boo again? And once again, seems kind of slow and worse than the cards I'm playing. Fire can kill an Emery, but I think it's the cut. This is what I end up with, just by a kind of process of elimination. Brazen Borrower are pretty important versus a lot of the cards in their deck, including Chalice of the Void. Turn 2 Hull Breacher. I'll keep. You can also fire an Emery, just on curve. Urza's Saga's in there. Lotus Petal's in there. Automaton, there's this freaking guy. Urza's Bauble. And Chalice on Zero is pretty rough on their deck, too. Opal is on already. Shadow Spear. Okay. Take a break. You've done enough. Settle down. And bobbled me seeing the Brazen Borrower. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good, too. I don't have any green cards in my hand. Okay, I'm going to pass and hope that I can just farm a Thoughtcast. If I could have, I would have Force of Vigor, the Urza Saga, and the Opal in the main phase, or in the upkeep, but I don't have a green card. Chalice on Zero. That is troublesome, but I'll deal with it later, I guess. They've seen my Brazen Borrower. In for 5. End step. I'm not catching anything here. Do I want to ice the Urza Saga to draw a card? Or do I Brazen Borrow? No, Brazen Borrow can answer. Yeah, okay, I'm going to ice the Urza Saga, which will tap them out if they want a construct. They don't get to play the maybe a counterspell, maybe a construct game. Just making a construct. I draw for that. Not a green card, is a blue card. And in their upkeep, I have to kill 2 things here. But now they can just finish the saga anyway. Yeah, okay. The tutor, if I could have forced last turn, I would have. I'll just let them finish their thing here and then make informed decisions. Either Spellbomb. I can pay for Ward here. Another saga. Chill out. I think I have to force the construct and the automaton, then pay the ward. This gets countered by their own chalice, but it does make automaton slightly larger, which is fine because it's about to die anyway. Oh wait, no, I'm hardcasting this thing. I can't kill the automaton. All right, I'm gonna kill Urza Saga and Construct. Yeah, I forgot that was on the hardcast. Whoops. Urza Saga and Construct. Go after that. I can Brazen Borrow another Construct. Then I have to deal with a 6/6. And Chalice of the Void still in play. I've been getting clowned by Patchwork Automaton across all Eternal formats lately, and I'm really bummed out that people figured out this card, because it's good. Lorien Revealed can be a land or it can be a blue card for my force. I think I just pass here, but I am about dead right now. They need to play 1 artifact to defeat me right now. Or I can Brazen Borrow the Automaton, but the Construct's also just enormous. Ugh. Kept on this Hull Breacher and then just never drew a card this game. They had a bauble on turn 1, just no baubles, no anything. Okay, I guess I'll Brazen Borrow the Automaton and be alive at 1 life. Petty Theft, target Automaton. Pitch the Spirit Guide, because I have to do it anyway. Ward 2. 1, 2, yes. Okay. Force of Will's off now. I'm at 1. Time to Miracle the what? I don't have double red for Brotherhood's End. They can pay just in time. Where were you last turn? You son of a biscuit. Yeah, they just pay and win. And it's going to be a 1-1 even. Just the biggest middle finger imaginable. All right, let's hope they misclick. Or I guess you tap Ancient Tomb anyway, so you can pay for... Or no, this costs 2. Yeah, they have exactly Ancient Tomb to pay for exactly Construct to attack me for exactly 1. Blech. Yep, they figured out how to pay for their thing. I had a sideboard card in my opening hand that never became relevant at all, and then I drew the nut sideboard card on the last turn where it doesn't matter. Any turn before that, it wins the game. Yeah, they paid for Chalice on the way out as well. Not that it matters. Well done. Out-tempoed. That's how you get me. The ward on Patchwork Automaton once again defeating me on camera. On to the final round. Trophy's dead.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the play in the final round with a turn 2 can of Rhinos in their end step backed by Force of Will. I believe that's a keep. Forest Go. I will not be disrupted by Wasteland, thank you. Forest Go is a weird start for Legacy. Lands would probably keep an Exploration or something, or a Mox Diamond, and we cast Loam on turn 1. We do something. Elves would probably want a 1-drop. Maybe thinking about crop rotation, some depth deck. We appear to be against some sort of artifact deck again. Pithing Needle, interesting. This will indicate what they think I'm playing. Just name Thespian Stage, name Wasteland. Okay, sure. That card's not my deck. The only activated abilities in my decks are Fetch Lands, Otawara, and Minskin They were unlikely to just get one of those on a blind turn 1 Needle. Tropical Island Pass. The Mountain also would have done it there, but I like the Trop in case they do something where, like, they play Chalice on 0, maybe, but I can respond to that now, and I don't care about it. I can't imagine this deck would contain Daze. There's your Saga. Your Emery. I don't like this card, but I can fire it next turn. Thoughtcast, Force of Will. All right, Thoughtcast confirmed to be in this deck at least. They got 3 cards left over there. End step, Rhinoceroses. Here they come. And awkwardly, the Urza Saga might just outmuscle Rhinos. But me getting the first big swing here is worth a lot. They have the Metallic Rebuke. Force pitching Brazen Borrower. I think killing Emery is going to be important here. And I am worried about the Saga constructs. They're going to be really big starting like immediately. But Emery just makes them bigger. Attack with my creatures. There's no universe where they block, but I'm going to give them the chance. What does Emery actually do on this board compared to tapping a construct and pushing for another bunch of damage? Oh, I can tap their Saga in the upkeep. That's actually the play here. Ice the Saga before it knows how to make constructs. Violent Outburst. Okay, good. As long as they didn't just draw Chalice of the Void and slam it on 0, that's going to get me around the Saga meaningfully, and it pushes extra damage in combat next turn. And I think I hold on to this Lorien Revealed in case I draw a Force. If they tap the Spire of Industry for colored mana, they might just die. Because I have surprise 10 damage here, not just 8. They're casting Bauble, not even pretending that they're going to block this turn. Good call, because I know you're not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not Kappa. Kappa arrives as 5/5, where a Rhino kills it. That's meaningful. Colorless in the pool on Spire, white in the pool. Oh, we're a Painter. Okay, so I'm actually dead. No, they have to block with Painter or they die. So I'm actually okay here. Or no, they're at 11, not 10. Fuck. I lose. I am dead. I need to draw Brazen Borrower. Right, they're bobbling me twice here. Yeah, the Painter Duke is about to just defeat me. I mean, they saw the top of my deck. That doesn't mean anything, really. I am going to shuffle it away, though. I don't want them to know what they have to beat. And I think I double up on red here. Like, Minskin Boo is a good hit. Okay. Yeah, I am about to lose here. They get to draw 2. I need removal for Painter. Oh, baby. Here's the Volcanic Island. Attack with my Rhinos. I'm 1 mana short of making them dead if they Force here. Disappointing. Okay. If they have a Force in their hand, they get to win. I think I'm just going to pass, though, and make them commit to not making a construct, because they need the 3 mana here to activate Grindstone. Oh, if I had bounced Painter, Opal would have been off, actually, and then they couldn't make a construct. But the Tutor turns on 3 mana. That might have been a small squeeze that I could have taken advantage of. No, Emery's here. She gets 0s. That's all covered. In 5 cards in their hand, if one of them's Force of Will, they win because Painter's on blue. Lotus Petal, annoying. But they do have to act first because they're dead on board. The Petal gives them Metallic Rebuke, which they didn't have otherwise. Emery is targeting Mox Opal. We're just ramping up. What do we have here? Like Hardcast Force backup? What's going on right now? Can they play? They can play a second Painter. Ugh. Wow. Okay. Petty Theft, the Painter Servant. One of us loses here. Boing. 4 cards in your hand. 1 force is accounted for. And they appear to have the Rebuke. Yep. Okay. Which I am exactly 1 mana short of paying for. Exile Spirit Guide. Got him. JK. Dead. Okay. My hand. The card in my hand is not Endurance. There's nothing clever in my deck that would buy me 1 more turn of attacks. Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, the Painter Juke at the very end got me good. I thought for sure we were running that game. We did see Thoughtcast. I don't know if that means Hullbreacher is good, though. They are largely based on baubles. I cut Endurance last time, but Endurance on my own stuff, or on myself, buys me another turn and can tempo a win out. I don't know if that means it's good. Dismember's good. And I think this is still my sideboard plan. It's the same thing I did last round. I would rather pile up cards to stop Painter from killing me rather than pile up ways to survive 1 more turn once I get painted. Yeah, I think this is the way. Okay. Sick Juke. On the play, slow access to 3 lands, Force of Vigors here. I think this is fine. I'm going to run with it. I can kill an Emery. I can kill 2 things if I pitch the Outburst. Gonna need a proactive plan at some point, but if they don't make me pitch Violent Outburst to force, then that is my proactive plan eventually. Okay, go. Seed of the Synod, Mishra's Bauble. Bam, Force of Vigor. No permanence, got him. I think I'll wait for a better permanent. Shadow Spear is in play. That's not Emery. I'm happy with that. End step, fetch Volcanic Island. And Cyclorian revealed for Tropical Island. But maybe I was supposed to actually start with Taiga, because green and red are both relevant to my deck. But now I drew another green source, so I can just tutor Volk and have green, red. I can also now save this Lurian revealed as a force of will to back up my Outburst. I don't think putting them to 0 permanents in their upkeep is the play, because Shadow Spear is barely a permanent anyway. Obviously, they have affinity stuff, they have improvised stuff, but that's not, you know what I mean. I just died to an individual artifact last game in Painter because I couldn't answer it. I'm not gonna. Okay, here I can actually put them to 0 lands at a time when they can't do anything else. But then my hand doesn't do anything. Do I want to try to run through this? Yeah, if I had a different green card, I would have done it, but this Violent Outburst is my plan to actually play the game. A different green card to force with, or just different threat to deploy. I would have been in on that. Yeah, here's Painter. Chosen color's blue. Now I can pitch anything to force, which means I might as well cycle Lorient Revealed, because I can also pitch the land that Lorient gets, which would be true if I didn't also just have Dismember here that I'm going to play anyway. Ugh. The brainworms are seeping in. The last match of my second league of the day. Yeah, now I can't protect my Violent Outburst, dumbass. Okay, always had it. Volcanic Island, get in, and I can Violent Outburst with Force Blue card protection. I could also just do it now, where, yeah, I don't want to get Metallic Rebuked, a thing that has got me multiple times this league, so let's just play it now. Make him have Force. And then if they try to outmuscle this with Urza's Saga, I'm approaching Hardcast Force of Vigor. Cards that I just revealed, Hullbreacher's there, Force Pitching Thoughtcast, Force Pitching Brazen Borrower, and no powerful sideboard cards revealed to the bottom of my deck there. Okay, here we go. Force of Vigor, take the wheel. I need you to solo this game. Okay, Construct. They can make a 4/4 Construct. 5/5 Construct. Okay, tilt. I'm not going to shuffle my deck with Wooded Foothills because I just said I sent a bunch of things that aren't Energy Flux to the bottom. Attack with my Rhinoceros. Opponent correctly identified that I can count to 4 and just didn't bother to make the block. I'm going to Force of Vigor the Construct and the Saga right now. Unfortunately, they do have Rebuke up, but I think this is the best spot I'm going to get. Because at least here, the Petal is part of the Rebuke cost. All right, cool. It's just resolved. All right. They're back to very little. If their hand is Grindstone and Painter Servant, they could just present those this turn and then activate it next turn, and they're not dead in the interim. Thought Monitor, oh baby. Yeah, that is castable from those permanents. Come on, Energy Flux. Urza Saga, still a problem. If they play it this turn, they can go to 3 next turn, or on this attack, then next turn make a 5/5, plus whatever else happens that turn, and 8/1 Rhino, and chump. Though if they don't have another artifact after damage, the construct would die to Rhino. Or they had Ancient Tomb instead. That's risky here. Painter, alright, well, no longer risky, just threatening lethal. Okay, interactive spell. Brotherhood's End, Fury, Energy Flux, Brazen Borrower, Fire Ice. Okay, if they don't block, they die to fire. That works. Attack with my creatures. You want to go to 1 here? Cool, okay. They can't force a will because they're at 1. They can't tap Ancient Tomb. I'm actually going to play my land just in case I am somehow mistaken about how Metallic Rebuke works. Fire. Can't force it. Cool. All right. Just barely got over the finish line there. They didn't see any of my super messed up sideboard cards. They saw Force of Vigor, but not the Brotherhood's End or the Energy Flux, which are the real crazy ones. I did reveal a Hull Breacher and a Cascade. I think this is still the play, like just turtling up on endurances to try to get an extra turn. I'd rather just not get Grindstoned. The Blood Moon is there too, but if they're not on a Saga line, or if they're on a Saga line, but I can just protect it anyway. Okay, here we go. Turn 2, Can of Rhinos or Hull Breacher. The can be protected by pitching Hull Breacher to force, then Fury to mop up afterwards. Keep. What's up with these guys on Violent Outburst? Why are there just Mars Attacks aliens on a Magic card wearing capes and stuff? I drafted a lot of this block, and I don't remember these characters actually being Magic characters. Are these Esper creatures? Oh, are those Esper Homunculi who have been infected by Jund Rage? Maybe that's what's going on in the art. Okay. I answered my own question while my opponent was busy playing a card. Misty Rainforest, pass. I have to imagine they have Ancient Tomb here to cash out this Saga, unless they're going to play Painter right now and just try to turn 3 Goldfish me. Nope, okay. I was right the first time. I'm not going to fetch because that doesn't do anything. Nice. Okay. Now I get to keep my Spirit Guide to Fury in the aftermath of this Urza Saga business. A 1/1 construct. I could just fire the construct while it's 1/1. That still feels worse than Furying, though. Okay, I'm going to let them have a construct. Then I'm going to fetch for Tropical Island. And I'm going to Violent Outburst now. Why did I think I would get to keep my Spirit Guide here? That's not how this works. I have a red card to keep, not necessarily Spirit Guide. I'm doing this now before they can tutor Mox Opal and have up the counterspell. Hull Breacher just went to the bottom of the deck. Still have the various banger sweepers available. They could tutor an Aether Spellbomb here, but then they're playing on the back foot off this strong Urza Saga start. They're also just in on this Ancient Tomb, which I've already hit them with 1 Rhino effectively because they tapped this thing twice. Aether Spellbomb is the decision. A cowardly decision, if I do say so myself. Opal activates the Spellbomb and makes the constructs big. Alright, Lotus Petal. Looking good over there. 4 cards left in your hand. My Rhinos are 5/4s this turn if they want to attack with that construct. I do have it defeated. Yuck. And me with Hull Breacher in my hand. They got 2 cards left over there. I think I actually do Force of Will this, because this makes the constructs just way too big. I don't like this, but it's just happened. And to rebuke that, they'd have to sack their Lotus Petal. Okay, no combat. Ooh, I'm 1 mana away now of hard casting Fury. Does that matter? If I attack with both Rhinos, Fire could just clear their board. Okay, I'm attacking with both Rhinos. And if they sack Lotus Petal to bounce a Rhino, the other construct is just 3/3 and doesn't beat it here. Yeah, this is a cool turn. Nobody's really doing what they want to do, but I think I'm favored in this situation. If they double block one Rhino, I just kill one construct and deal 5 to them. If they block each Rhino, I kill all the constructs. And then the board is empty, basically, and I have Fury coming down next turn, or on my next mana. And they don't really want to just take 8 here either, because they're at 8 and Ancient Tomb is half their mana. Okay, we got 1 block. What does that do? Okay, I'll deal the 4, and then fire the construct and their face. Okay, that's not bad. That brings the other construct down to 4/4, which is Fury numbers. I could have Furied it there. I kind of have big dreams of casting this thing, though. But of course, they have artifacts in their deck, and now it's a 5/5 again. Also, knowing that their deck has Painter in it, I'm not in a huge hurry to spend my last removal spell just to get the board to parity. Another can of Rhinos, or one of the busted sideboard cards are the two best things I could draw here. I'll take an Energy Flux. I'm not going to complain. Okay, there's Grindstone. If they have Painter right now, they're 1 mana short. Oh, gross. Thought Monitor, alright. Don't like half of the combo just sitting in play. Seed of the Synod, 1 card left in hand. They have an 8-power creature. Are you in combat mode? Yeah, you are. I like it. I mean, with Aether Spellbomb, they have very little to worry about. Bobbling me, please see Energy Flux and lose your shit. That's what I want. You draw for Bobble. I draw Dismember. Which one? That joke never gets old. Attack with my Rhino. I don't like my spot anymore. Oh, they're doing something. Oh, you also have a Dismember. Interesting. That's actually fine, because that doesn't use the... Alright, yeah, let's just get the board back to parity and hope that you don't have Painter Servant in your hand. Fury. They can bounce their own Thought Monitor with Aether Spellbomb. Let's hope they don't think of that. 2 on each of these. Okay, the thing's in the graveyard, and you know about Dismember. I have to go to 6 to do this, and they can Rebuke here, and then I'm just dead on board. Okay, sweet, 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 sweet. We're back to parity. Please don't play Painter Servant. Top deck war. Top deck war. They can redraw off Spellbomb. They could start slow grinding me. Oh, you friggin' psycho. Alright, or they could just play Painter Servant. GG. Alright. We defeated every deck that didn't have Thoughtcast in it, and then we lost to 2 Thoughtcasty Artifact Stompy kind of decks, which is interesting. I don't think I've played against any version of 8cast in 8 weeks in my Legacy Q adventures, and we paired against it twice in this league. But we did beat 2 Delver decks. That's important. Beat Doomsday. That deck's not as popular as it used to be, but it's still powerful and nice to know we can beat it. This deck does have heavy hate for artifact decks, Force of Vigor, Energy Flux, and Brotherhood's End, all in there. And if that's a huge part of your metagame, just play more of those. Just put 3 Energy Flux in your deck. You probably never lose that matchup. Also, the Painter pivot mattered a lot in that last round because we had them beat on just tempo stuff, but they knew they were working towards a different plan than I thought they were, and they got to use that advantage against me. Positive record, though. This deck is very cool. I think it rules that it exists. I don't know if it's really my style. If you're gonna play tempo, I really like Ponder, Brainstorm, Wasteland, Daze, just really carving your wins out of super interesting tiny decisions. I'm not saying this deck is brainless. We had a lot of decisions to make, actually, like, do I use Spirit Guide here? Do I try to find land number 3? Do I this? Do I that? And very likely I made some mistakes in the process, but I don't really like the play pattern of this in Legacy, especially since so many Legacy decks can just go over the top of it. Cool deck, though. Cool league. I'm glad the deck exists. Joyami, thank you for giving the opportunity to play it. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.